on the count of 3, say you want a divorce.
Oh, no.
Or you
Absolutely
want,
not what I was trying to get to.
Or you want to keep trying.
Okay.
I want
Separated.
a divorce. Okay. Same thing. Same answer. Yeah.
Am I surprised that Claire and Cameron are where they are? No. I think reading the comments about Cameron's interview on the after party is why they are where they are, and it's really sad. It's really sad because I had high hopes for them, and to see them like this is sad and very disheartening. And I think Married at First Sight needs to review its casting process. I think the producers need to take a step back and allow the experts to fully sort of vet and choose who goes on the show. I think we need to stop this toxicity and this, casting people for ratings thing, and actually cast people that really are in it for the right reasons, because you're constantly having people whose hearts are broken because they're matched with people who are not ready. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 11.
Anyway, here we go. This season is becoming disappointing by every minute, by the minute. I don't know what's going to happen by the time we get to week 8. Anyway, you have Emily having a conversation with Brennan, and they're sort of making pizzas, and they're talking about their conversations the previous night and, the tension that was there when Dr. Pia suggested that Brennan needs therapy. All of us know Brennan needs therapy. He's afraid of the stigma. That's the impression that I get. And he doesn't understand what therapy is. And I think this is why he's very rebellious and doesn't even want to hear about it. Anyway, they were given activities to do because Married at First Sight always does this when people are struggling physically with physical intimacy. They always encourage them to do these activities. Brennan agreed to do the activity, but then is refusing now that Dr. P has left. I think he just said so just to get her out of the room, and then he's decided, no, I don't want, to do the physical touch, but I'm happy to do a hug. Can we do a hug now? And it's like, why are we doing everything at your pace? People would be kicking off if Emily was behaving the way Brennan is behaving, and I'm surprised they're not calling him out for it. I think he needs to be called out because it seems he has this idea of marriage and he has this idea of a relationship and how you should communicate in the relationship, but he's not open to learning. And because he's so stuck in his ways, he doesn't want to learn anything else. He doesn't want to hear anything that goes against what he believes. And it's like, make it make sense, please. Make it make sense. How long do you think you can keep this act going? I don't get it, and I'm surprised Emily's putting up with so much. Anyway, you then have the experts talking about Michael and everything he went through with his, bride saying no at the altar, and they really feel bad. You can see that they're all disheartened by the fact that she turned around and said no. I have a feeling she never wanted to get married, but she told the experts what she wanted them to say, got to the chapel, and then decided to walk away. And I think she expected the producers to play it out. I think she expected the producers to still show her and show her face and her name and have her story told. But the producers didn't do that. They completely scrubbed her out. They showed us her back and they never said her name. Nobody has said her name from the time the show started up until now. I haven't heard it unless somebody else has heard it. So Michael comes, the experts apologize sincerely that, we want to apologize for what's happened. We didn't expect this. Because they are right to say people, I said this in one of my other reviews, that people are selling their representative to the experts. And the experts are buying into this because when the show first started, people were really serious about getting married. Yes, people didn't work out because of clashing personality and, beliefs and values. But still, some people who put in the effort, people who are willing to do the work, actually found their life partner. Jamie and Doug, Anthony and Ashley, Shanice and Jeffy, Christine and what's his name? Oh my God, and Keith, to name a few. And so you see that people that came in and had a partner and were open to learning about their partner, open to building a relationship with their partners, actually flourished. I can name, I remember how Jamie and Doug struggled at the beginning, how Shanice and Jeffy struggled at the beginning. I remember Dion and Greg were struggling until Pastor Carl had to sit them down, and Dion then opened up and now she's happily married with her son. And so For me, I think the experts are so used to that type of person that really wants this for the right reasons that this is why people are sort of getting away with murder in the sense that they're coming in, showing their best representatives, and the experts are buying into this. And then when the show starts, they realize that, oh, this is not the person that sat in front of us. This is totally different. And they're all taken aback. And I don't know who's coaching the people to give the experts the answers that they want to hear. Anyway, so you then have Michael asked by, Dr. Pepper that, are you still interested in getting married? If we can find someone, are you open to the idea of being matched with someone? And he said he's open. And I have to give him a lot of credit, though. I hope this time they'll really do a lot of vetting and a lot of work. It might be the person that they match him with was his plan B. So I really hope they work out.
We have Cameron and Claire participating in a activity because Dr. Pierre told them they need to try and have fun. And so for me, I feel some type of way because I remember reading somewhere that apparently on the after party, Cameron was saying that Claire used to give him mixed signals in the sense that when they're on camera, she would say, "Oh, why don't you hold me? Why don't you do A, B, C, D?" But then as soon as the cameras go away, she would tell him not to touch her. And I think this is not the first couple that this has happened to, if I'm not if I'm correct, whereby one of the partners later reveals that, oh, when we're on camera, my partner used to say, okay, let's be intimate, let's pretend to be intimate. And as soon as the cameras go away, they'll push me off. And so, if this is the case, I really feel sorry for them because apparently, Claire's type, she said, was she likes black guys who are very muscly. I think somebody said there was a beard or something like that. And Cameron is not that. And so it makes me question, did she ask for someone like Cameron because she knew that is what her family wanted? Or was she trying to get something different? Or was she going to try and see if she could make things work with something different? It's sad that Cameron is checked out. You can see he's very sarcastic in his look, in the sense that he's thinking, why are we pretending? Maybe they've had a fight. Maybe she's told him not to touch her off camera because this is what he claimed. And then they suddenly on camera and she's saying, oh, we need to keep going. We shouldn't give up, we should keep trying. And it's like, but you are not putting in the effort. What are we trying? Are we trying for the cameras or are we trying because we're really trying? You can see he's checked out. And she's now complaining to the camera, oh, he's checked out. I don't want him to check out. And it's like, but you haven't done anything to show you're really keen. If it's true that you're telling him he's not your type, how then do you expect him to make any effort? I think maybe she's just saying this because she has a reputation to maintain, so she wants to pretend like she likes him when in actual fact she doesn't like him, and she doesn't want to be an I'm a very good person. I have to give credit to the experts really because this season it seems they are really hands on. Yes, they cannot control what people do or the choices people make, but they are really hands on in the sense that every time a couple struggles, they're quick to jump on a video call, they're quick to have a conversation, which is what they used to do in the earlier season. So it's nice to see that come back and it's nice to see them being more involved with the couples. So Pastor Carl sits down with Austin and Becca. They Skype him, I think, just to have a conversation because they're struggling about religion. I did say this that they chose a different route to the route that Lauren and Orion chose, in the sense that Becca and Austin decided to get to know each other first, and then once they knew each other, they went into talking about religion. I think their fight was really a silly fight. Well, I don't want to say silly because at the end of the day, I don't know how Austin got to saying, if you go to hell, I'll still love you either way because you're not Christian, and it's like, why would you say that? Pastor Carl is right to say we nobody has died and come back and said, oh, in heaven it looks like this, or in hell it looks like this. We are only going on our assumptions and our beliefs. And so for you to judge someone doesn't make sense. Becca was now questioning that maybe he should have been married to a Christian woman. That way he didn't have to worry about her going to hell. And Pastor Carl was right to say, you are his match. Your beliefs, your values align. This is why we match the two of you. So it doesn't need to be somebody else because this now makes Becca question herself because she's asking herself, am I worthy to be his partner? Am I the right person? Was he supposed to have been matched with somebody else? I think it's good that they're opening up because I always said there was something a bit off with them. So to see them actually have conversations and actually disagree is nice. I don't know. I've lost hope on any couple this season because of, of the things that are coming out on the after party. But I'm happy that Pastor Carl was involved. And one thing about Pastor Carl is he's always going to try and bring something down to the basics and make sure that the couples understand. He's always going to make sure that they know that he's not biased. He's always going to listen to both sides and be a neutral sort of party and sort of mediate whatever issues the couples are having. So I really liked that. I really had a lot of respect for him for that. My question is, why is Austin so stuck on religion now? Is he trying to look out for a sort of an escape hatch? That way he can use religion as the reason why he's decided to break things off with Becca. It doesn't make sense because his friend said he wasn't really religious, or and he barely spoke of religion with his friends. So his friend didn't understand why he was bringing it up. And my question is, why is he bringing it up? Is that his escape hatch for when he says no on decision day, to say that our religion doesn't align because everything else they align? I don't get it because I always said I felt like he wanted to know about her medical history more before he let himself go, and whether he's sort of um, heard from her, and this is what he's decided. I don't get. And then you have Cameron and Claire meet up with Orion and Lauren, and I don't get it. So the wives meet separately and the husbands meet separately, and it's like, why is Orion there? Orion has nothing to contribute to this conversation. He hasn't done anything substantial that I think contributed or was of benefit to his marriage. So the idea that he's suddenly being the voice of reason and he's trying to sort of be the advocate for marriage or the advocate for self worth doesn't make sense to me because you can see that Cameron is checked out. Whatever's happening behind the cameras, behind the scenes, only he and Claire know, and because of that, he's checked out. He's not interested anymore in this relationship. He wants to move on, and so I don't know. I really don't know. And for Orion to say, "Oh, you need to advocate for yourself. You need to prioritize yourself," I wish I'd done that earlier. And it's like you haven't learned anything from the breakup of your marriage. You really haven't learned anything if this is your takeaway. So the idea and the audacity for you to think you can advise Cameron on his marriage, irregardless of the problems he's having, doesn't make sense. He's the last person I expected to give advice. If nothing else, they should have got Cameron to sit down with the experts. I don't think, you know, Orion was the right person to advise him because Orion is already advising him to look for the exit and run. Then you have Claire and sort of Lauren have a conversation, and Lauren is right to say Claire needs to give it her best shot, otherwise she's going to have a lot of what ifs. I feel like Claire didn't lie. At the wedding, she looked like she was infatuated. She seemed like she had a crush on Cameron. So the idea that she's gone from that to suddenly be in this place whereby she's, oh, if we're struggling. He doesn't seem interested, and it's like this man has said countless times that he finds you attractive. He's been waiting for a green light from you, and it seems behind the cameras you've been telling him to leave you alone. So how then do you turn around and say, oh, I need him to show me that he's attracted to me? And it's like, oh no, no. At least Lauren encouraged her to give it her best shot. So hopefully, she does, but I don't see it. The 1 month anniversary, you have, couples excited. Obviously, Emily and Brennan talk about how a good space they're in, and am I buying it? Not really. I think Emily's just trying to get along, and is hoping for the best. And I don't know how that will play out. You have Claire say, they've chosen not to celebrate the 1 month anniversary. And for me, she's saying, oh, it's because it's a bit too much for us. I think it's a bit too much for Claire. I think Cameron is fed up and he's ready to check out, and she's trying to get him back in to sort of try and give it another shot, even though she doesn't seem to be making as much effort as he would like her to make. And then you have um, Becca and Austin sit down for, to watch their wedding service. They seem to be in a better place than most of the other couples, but it seems something is still sort of holding Austin back. And I wish he was honest and he would actually tell Becca what it is, because I think that would help them grow as a couple. But at least he's there, he is trying his best. That's the best we can ask for, really, in an experiment like this. So at least he's trying. That's the good thing. It's interesting because you have the couple celebrating their 1 month anniversaries, and Brennan and Emily go on, a horse riding trail. And the fact that Brennan could easily bond with his horse and he acknowledged it when Emily brought it up is sort of confusing, because you wonder whether he has no self awareness, in the sense that, can you not hear what you're saying? You say you don't like this girl because there's no connection there, and yet you're hammering on how you like your horse after just meeting it. What are you trying to say? That's a horrible thing to say, especially on your 1 month anniversary. And I give it to Emily, because Emily reminds me of Kirsten. She really wanted to get married. She really wanted to get married, and sadly, they've matched her with the wrong person. It makes me question whether Emily and Lauren should have been questioned with somebody, should have been matched with somebody else. Really, I think they'd have been better off with somebody else, even if they had been matched with someone like, Cameron, or someone like, on the guys who really appears to Michael. At least they would have been with someone who's really in it for the right reasons, not someone who's just there to be on TV and just to be popular. I don't know how I feel about Brennan. I questioned when he first came on, and you were saying, "Oh, I don't believe in divorce," and yet to see him, if you don't believe in divorce, then why are you not putting in the effort to make sure that this thing works? Why are you being so nasty and so horrible? I don't get it. Cameron, it seems, went on, a bike trail with one of his family friends. He just wanted to clear his head. And the person seems very mature. So I hope he gave him the advice that he needed in order to make a decision about this relationship. And then you have Becca and Austin. They go, ice skating. And it was cute to see. It's cute to see. Whatever issues they've had, they seem to have worked on them. It seems they're both really keen to make this thing work. I like how they were mocking each other about it. Seems Austin said he loves Becca, and Becca tried to whistle, or give him a get out of jail free card by saying, "Oh, he was very tired when he said so," because they were telling Pastor Carl. And so to hear him say, "I love," and I think she was waiting for him to say, "I love you," and he went, "I love liking, liking you," and it was cute. I really like that they're discussing this religion thing. I hope religion is not code word for anything else, but I hope, if nothing else, Austin really gives this a shot, because it seems Becca is really in it for the long haul, and it would be sad for him to lose out on someone who's very serious. So we'll see. Audacity for me is the audacity. So you have Brennan and Emily go out for a meal, and they're sort of just talking about their first week together and how things have gone. And so Emily is very optimistic. She's talking about how she felt their week has gone great. She's really looking forward to the second half of this experiment, although she thinks it will go slower as they will have more complicated stuff to discuss. And for Brennan to say, "Oh, normally when I come across a red flag, I always run," and it's like, why would you say that? What in your mind makes you think calling someone a red flag is acceptable? Why? You are a walking red flag yourself. The fact that you came in saying, "I do not believe in divorce. I do not believe in divorce. I will never get divorced," and then for you to get into this marriage with this girl, give her the impression that you really like her, and then suddenly come back from the honeymoon and turn around and suddenly be put off by her, start calling her red flag and everything else you've done. It's unacceptable. I think Brennan needs to sit down with either Dr. Pepper or Pastor Carl, because he's going to walk all over Dr. Pia, or he's going to try and walk all over Dr. Pia. It seems he has no respect for her. So I would rather he sit down with Pastor Carl and Dr. Pepper and let them hold his feet to the fire and let him express himself and say exactly what he doesn't like about this relationship, or what he doesn't like about Emily, because it seems he's just throwing out words from time to time, but he's never fully articulating what it is about her that he doesn't like, or what it is about her that's made him change his mind or his opinion about her from wedding day, because he says, "Oh, maybe it was adrenaline." No, it's not. Something happened, and be honest. If you're going to say something with your chest, then own up to it. So we then go to Claire and Cameron. Apparently, Cameron sent a message to say he's not coming back. He's becoming attached, and he doesn't want to leave himself vulnerable. And so for Claire to seem confused doesn't make sense, especially given what's been said about her having a type. I've always said this about people that go on Married at First Sight with a type, to say that your type hasn't worked in the real world. And now you have someone who's willing to do the work, someone who's open to learning, someone who's open to growing with you, and yet you turn on that person just because they are not your type. It's sad. It's sad because you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle for a long time to find your type that meets or has those same values and qualities that you're looking for in a partner. So it's sad. I feel sorry for anyone who's crying, but I don't know. I think I've gone off Claire given, the comments about her sort of not being honest about what she was looking for in a partner. So I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but hey, it is what it is. So you have Austin sit down to have a conversation with someone who appears to be, sorry, I didn't get her name. It seems she knows Becca more, so I would assume she's Becca's friend, and he's sort of bringing up his concern about the afterlife. And to me, I know people have different beliefs and values, and she was right to say you can't just say because somebody doesn't believe in God or doesn't go to church, then they're automatically going to hell. Because there are some people that go to church that do some of the craziest things, some of the most evil and vile things, and yet does that mean they're going to go to heaven? Make it make sense. So I like the fact that she was able to sort of explain it in a simplified way, which I hope, if nothing else, Austin took away. And well, he did say he's open to growing, he's opening to new ideas and new beliefs. I think maybe his family members brought up the concern about religion. And so that sort of dragged him back, because if he wasn't practicing or if he wasn't strongly sort of into his religion, for him to suddenly bring it up, I think somebody must have brought it up. And it's a pity that they don't know the person that they're judging. I hope they give her a chance to sort of see who she is, what she believes in, what she really likes, and then take it from there instead of just making assumptions about Emily, because Emily seems like a great girl. She seems like she's really interested in this marriage. So I hope, if nothing else, you know, Austin really gives her a shot and it really takes time to know her. We'll see how that plays out. Michael meet up with his friends, sort of explain that, he's met with the experts and they've had a conversation, and so they did ask him whether he wanted to be rematched with someone. And I give credit to his friend because, they all love him, but one of them was very vocal. She wasn't disrespectful, but she said, they need to change their methodology because it seems whatever they've done hasn't worked. So if they're going to try and rematch you, they have to rematch you. She was more or less saying it needs to be someone who's really serious about getting married and not someone who's here to play games. So I give her credit for voicing that out. That way, the producers know that if they are going to play games, oh, this family is not going to be happy. And I hope they don't match him with someone who's just there to be on TV. So Dr. Pepper came, and I like that the friends and family sort of held her feet to the fire in regards to the fact that Michael went through a lot when this lady broke up with him, and we don't want him to go through the same thing. So if you're going to match him with someone, make sure that it's someone who's really serious about getting married and someone who's in this for the right reasons. So I have high hopes. It seems everybody's happy. I think the friends have just decided to be very supportive, so they're going to cheer him on no matter what he decides to do, because they would rather he do what is in his best interest and not live with any regrets, which I accept and I agree with. So the couples get ready because, they're having a meetup for the 1 month anniversary. And Claire is worried because this is the first time she's going to meet Cameron, because they've been separate for a couple of days. I think Cameron has decided to protect himself. And I think they're not being honest about what happened, because there's no reason why you would have a conversation and keep away completely unless something happened and he needed someone to sort of brainstorm with, and the person was able to make him see reason and make him see a different point of view, and this is why he's decided to step away. So Claire is worried about seeing him, it seems, and I don't know whether she's worried whether they'll be able to keep their story straight, or whether she's worried that he might have completely checked out, which is sad. um it seems for some reason Austin and Becca are now in a good place, which is cute to see, because they really seem to be trying. They really seem to be trying. I have to give them credit for that. So I don't know whether this will work out for them. We see Brennan, but we don't see Emily. We then see them walking together. So I don't know how that those two are going as well. It seems everybody's very dysfunctional. I really don't understand what's going on Married at First Sight. I don't know whether they need to change the producers or whether they need to change their screening process, because something is not right. The past couple of seasons, the people that they've matched haven't really seemed to be in it for the right reasons, which is very sad and very disheartening. And so I don't know. Something needs to be done. Something needs to change. So the couple sit down and Claire and Cameron sort of start having a conversation about their relationship because they go around in circles, sort of asking each other, how do you feel about your marriage? Is this what you hoped it would be? Is there anything or any advice you'd have given yourself before coming in? And so Cameron said, I think Cameron is fed up. I think something happened, but Claire and Cameron have decided to keep it under wraps and have just decided to just get along just for the sake of it because the way they handle their separation doesn't make sense. It makes me feel like they had a conversation prior to them coming on, to the couple's dinner and sort of agreed that what they were going to do was they were going to separate and they were just going to separate in front of everyone. Because of how calm and very collected they were, they both agreed that, this isn't working. There's no point in beating a dead horse, so let's keep it moving. And I give them credit for choosing themselves. I give them a lot of credit for choosing themselves, but I don't know whether they put in as much effort as they might have. you know I don't know whether something happened. I feel like something happened, but they won't tell us what happened. Maybe the producers have told them not to say, but something happened that has led to this breakup. And it's sad, but it is what it is. They have to choose themselves. So hey, I wish them all the best. It's a pity one of them wasn't ready for marriage. That's the impression that I get. It seems one was ready, but the other one wasn't. I'm just judging from what I've seen. So it's sad, but this is the honest truth. And I'd rather they call it off than waste time. I think I think a lot of it must have been taken out, and I think this is why the experts decided to match Michael with somebody else because otherwise that would have left them with two couples. So something happened, but sadly we will never find out unless they talk about it on After the Sun or they do lives after the show. Feeling that we're going to end up with a scenario similar to that season where Zach and what was her name? Oh, Bing, was it? Yeah, where they ended up falling in love and sort of dating. Because I don't get why Claire brought up the question about Emily's marriage to Brennan, and she asked him, do you see a future together? And it's like, why does it matter? Why are you asking this? You have broken up with your partner. Focus on yourself. And even if you have questions, this is not the right time for you to be asking those questions unless Emily has asked you to ask. And they're not your pet project, they're not your work assignment that you need to work on. And for Claire to go out and sort of say to Emily that, oh, you have the right to choose yourself, you can do what I've done and just walk away. That's not your place to say. And I don't get why people whose relationships fail or are the reasons why their relationships fail are the ones that are encouraging other people to sort of walk off. Because you have Orion, who's the reason why his marriage to Lauren failed, telling, Cameron that, oh, you need to leave, you need to choose yourself first. And then you have Claire, who is the reason why her marriage has failed, telling Emily that, oh, you need to leave. Why? Why would you do that? When did you become such close friends or acquaintances with Emily that you're giving her that advice? And I get why Emily got upset because really, I think Brennan is wasting her time. And I think he's just appeasing her and telling her what she wants to hear and just buying time until decision day. I think he doesn't want to pay the penalty because he hasn't said or done anything that shows that he's in this marriage for the right reasons. He hasn't sort of shown Emily that he's really invested in making this thing work. And so I get her frustration, I get her anger, and I also am very furious and very annoyed with him because he made all these promises and then didn't live up to them, in his vows. And I'm surprised we didn't watch them sort of review their wedding pictures or didn't see them watching their wedding ceremony. I don't know whether he refused to do that. I don't get it. And I'm so furious with Brennan. It's a pity. I A red flag for me, I remember saying, was him saying, I don't believe in divorce and I'm never getting divorced. And now to see how he's treating Emily, I'm so furious. I really am. And then you have Claire and Cameron go home. The producers are messy for giving them the pictures of their wedding and getting them sort of go through them. I think something happened between Cameron and Claire, and I think Cameron was fed up of putting up with it, and this is why he's decided to move away. And so I really wish him all the best, and it's a pity he was matched with someone who wasn't serious about marriage. I wish the experts, you can't expect them to keep rematching everybody, but there are cases where you wish someone would get rematched, because it's sad that on Married at First Sight you always have that one person who really wants to get married be paired up with someone who's really not in it for the right reasons. And so I'm heartbroken for them, and I really hope they can somehow, find their person. I really hope Cameron is really able to find his person, and I wish him all the best. So I don't know. He left, and it was sad to see him go, but I think this is what's in his best interest. There's no point in sort of continuing to invest in a relationship where someone has told you you're not their type. I know apparently Lauren said Claire made allegations against, Cameron as well, talking about how big her bum was and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. It is he said, she said. We'll have to wait until decision day to actually hear the truth. So I don't know. I'm getting so furious with Married at First Sight. I really think, as the girl said, they need to change their methodology. They need to change their casting process. I know the viewers want to know how they cast people, but this is giving people an answer sheet and allowing people to know what to say so that they are the ones that are picked. So maybe they need to go back to the drawing board and revise how they sort of pick people. Because if they could pick people that are successfully married with children, then they can pick other people. But I think whoever's sort of giving input needs to step away, and the experts need to be allowed to freely choose without worrying about the dramatic effect or about the ratings. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 10. Bye, guys.